competition has taken notice.
Oh, my God.
Good luck keeping up with us, amateurs.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh, should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Welcome to the Barbecue Central Show, the show where we talk about all things that are important in the world of barbecue. From big-name interviews with competitors on the barbecue circuit, grill manufacturers and pit makers, to advice on cooking brisket and ribs. You'll find it all right here on the Barbecue Central Show. Your host, Greg Rempe, is a backyard barbecue and grilling fanatic and loves to talk about his passion, which many of us share together. You can learn more about barbecue and grilling by visiting the website, thebbqcentral.com. Now, let's get in the smoke. Here's your program host, Greg Rempe.
Welcome to the Barbecue Central Show. This is the show where we talk about all things that are important to the world of barbecue and grilling. I am your program host, Greg Rempe. As you well know by now, the Barbecue Central Show originates from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city, dare I say it, the barbecue capital of the North Coast, Cleveland, Ohio. Happy to have you with me, Centralites. Great show lined up for you as always. Let me give you some contact information in case you want to get in touch with the show, and you can do it at any point. It doesn't have to be during show hours. You can do it whenever you want, whenever it's convenient, and you can do it one of two ways. You can email the show, bbqcentralradio@gmail.com, or you can leave an audio message on the Barbecue Central audio hotline, 216-220-0966. Here's what's happening on the show. Drew Keenan from InZone, which is the company that makes Bubba Keg. I have a Bubba Keg on my back patio right now, and it is in competition or in the same vein as a lot of the ceramic cookers, such as the Big Green Egg, Grill Dome, Primo, Kamado. Those are ceramic. The Bubba Keg is a dual-wall steel unit looking similar in shape and roughly performing in the same way. It can do the low and slow barbecue temperatures. It can also ramp up to substantially high grilling heat. I've had it up to 800 degrees, according to the thermometer. The benefit of either the Bubba Keg, which is the dual-wall steel construction, or a lot of these ceramic cookers, depending on where you are in the country, now that the seasons are starting to change and it is going to be getting colder, these are fuel misers. It's going to be hard for the outdoor inclement weather to affect them. And once they warm up, they don't use nearly as much fuel as, let's say, a charcoal kettle grill or some of the other charcoal-fired cookers would. So that's a benefit of whether it's a ceramic or whether it's this Bubba Keg, the steel wall make or the steel product. So look for Drew Keenan right around 12 past the hour. Segment after that, we'll be joined by regular monthly guest Derek Riches from About.com. Perhaps you didn't notice that Thanksgiving is on its way. Well, a lot of people have been getting into the popular deep frying of a turkey. Some of the manufacturers out there have actually gotten away from the oil-powered cookers and offer these infrared-type units that are a little bit more safe, or perceived to be a little bit more safe. And that is going to be the main focus that we have on the table for Derek Rich's segment, these turkey fryers, whether they be oil-filled. Maybe we'll get some safety tips from Derek as well. If you're not familiar with Derek, you can find him at bbq.about.com. That's his website on About.com, and he's got an extensive blog where he's done a number of reviews on different products, grills, smokers. He does polls, very interactive. You can find him on Twitter as well. That's about_BBQ. You can follow him on Twitter. By the way, needed to apologize to anybody that is following me on Twitter currently. If you are following me at BBQ Central Show, you probably got a direct message from me. Well, you probably thought it was from me, but it was from some scumbag hacker who found out my password and then direct messaged pretty much everybody, or at least 250 people in my followers list, and said, hey, I made bags and bags of cash by using this link. And then, of course, you click on the link and you've been hacked. I haven't really defined how the hell that happened, but I have an inside track. So just beware, Twitter, whenever you're linked somewhere and it's asking you for a password, best to X out if you know that person that sent you that letter. And I did receive a number of emails saying, hey, is this you, before I click on it. So I was able to stave those people off. But for anybody that actually clicked on it because you thought it was me, A, I apologize. B, I was hacked. C, problem has been rectified. Change the password to a ridiculously secure one that I probably will never remember again. So hopefully my cookies stay on my computer. But that situation has been rectified. Again, that's one of the ways that you can win prizes during the week, cool free prizes during the week. You can follow the show on Twitter at BBQ Central Show, or you can find me on Facebook, either the Barbecue Central Radio Show, or you can search me by name, Greg Rempe, R-E-M-P-E. I have both of those applications linked together, and when we run a prize, whoever gets back to me first with a correct answer or a response or whatever the case may be, you can win cool, fun, and fantabulous prizes during the course of the week when the show is actually not on air. All right, so we have 2 interviews. Drew Keenan coming up, segment after this. And then after Drew, we have Derek Riches from About.com. Wanted to quickly transition over to some of the competition stuff. But first, the Kansas City Barbecue Society has its annual board candidates announcement. Now, the elections will begin on January 2nd, 2010. They will conclude 13 days later on January 15th. Some of these people are up for re-election or they are incumbents, and then we have some new people. I don't have positions that they're actually looking to be elected into, but we have friend of the show, Joe Amore from Smoky Mountain Smokers, Randy, I hope I'm getting this right, Bigler from JC's Pit Crew, John Kirby from Backyard Burners, Paul Kirk, he is an incumbent, the Baron and his pitmasters. We have Mike Lake, who is also an incumbent. I believe he is currently the KCBS president. Barb Milroy from Texas Rib Rangers. Linda Mullane is an incumbent. Pig Daddy's Barbecue. Jim Stansel, Bare Knuckles, Jeff Smith from Big Creek Barbecue. Bunny Tuttle from K-Cast Barbecue. And friend of the show, Candy Weaver from Barbecuer's Delight. So if you're listening to the show and you know any of them and you think that they would be interested in coming on the show and kind of talking about why they, A, wanted to run for the Kansas City Barbecue Society Board of Directors, let them know I'd be more than happy to have them on. Let them come on the show and talk about their vision, why they wanted to run. KCBS board has been under some scrutiny during the course of the year. Of course, we had the Rod Gray resigning from the board incident earlier in the year, so people talking about if you want to make change, this is the time to do it. This is the year to do it, that being 2010. So check that out. If you know anybody that's looking to be reelected or that is looking to make a run for the BOD for KCBS, let me know, and I will be more than happy to try and get them on and have them talk about what is good about barbecue, why they want to be on the BOD, all that great stuff. Let's look at the competition side of things. Standings, Memphis Barbecue Network. Not too much has changed since we last took a look. Yazoo's Delta Q still 1 point ahead from Jack's Old South Barbecue in the Memphis Barbecue Network. Team of the Year standings over at the Florida Barbecue Association. Drawing a little closer, Swamp Boys has a total of 616 points, and Forrest's Fine Foods now roughly 85 points behind Rob Bagby and the boys at Swamp Boys Barbecue Competition Cooking Team. Not sure exactly how many competitions are left under FBA, but drawing a little bit closer. Rob feeling a little bit of the pressure there, and then we transition over to the KCBS side of things. Not a lot of things have changed top 10-wise. Rod Gray from Pellet Envy still sitting atop the KCBS Team of the Year point standings, and there are a handful of competitions left during the course of this year. So, but ever so close, Iowa Smoky D's is running second, and they are 39 points behind Rod Gray. So depending on who is competing up until the last second could really determine who ends up taking Team of the Year overall for the Kansas City Barbecue Society. So that race has certainly tightened up here over the last few weeks. Quick reminder about Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue. You know who they are. They're the leading online distributor of Meadow Creek barbecue equipment. Those barbecue smokers, pig roasters, chicken cookers, and grills are handcrafted in the Amish country of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And their goal is to give you outstanding value for the price, helping you enjoy easy and profitable barbecues for years to come. And don't forget, they carry a full line of barbecue rubs and barbecue sauces. You can check them out on the internet right now. SeriousBBQs.com. SeriousBBQs.com. When we come back, Drew Keenan from InZone, Derek Riches after that. It's Rempe and you right here on the Barbecue Central Show.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Forget going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Get in the smoke. It's the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. It's the Barbecue Central Show. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. This portion of the show brought to you by D-Dog's Barbecue Rub. You know, you love D-Dog's Barbecue Rub, right? The rubs, the sauces, but would you like to buy them locally? Of course you would. Who wants to pay the shipping? Send him the name, address, and phone number of your local barbecue store or farmer's market or grocery store, whatever selling barbecue rubs and sauces, to D-Dogs, and they'll do the rest. Email info to Darren, D-A-R-I-N, Darren at ddogsbbq.com. Of course, we all know by now that D-Dog's Barbecue Rub is better than ketchup. That's ddogsbbq.com. As promised, joining me now to reinvigorate talk about the unit that is really taking over the barbecue scene is Drew Keenan from InZone, maker of the Bubba Keg. Drew, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. How you doing, Greg?
Doing well. Thanks for taking the time out. The unit has been out for a number of months now. A lot of people have gotten to be able to try this unit in their backyard and kind of put it through its paces. And let's be honest, I don't think you guys are going out of your way to say, well, of course you're trying to say that the Bubba Keg is better than any of the competing units for a various number of reasons. But we can both honestly say that there's just no longevity track record on the Bubba Keg to compare to some of these other ceramic cookers, right?
Well, we've had production out for over a year now, and we've been extensively testing. We've been doing torture testing and outside weather testing. You know, certainly we haven't been around as long as some of these ceramic Kamados, but we feel pretty confident that the Bubba Keg is going to hold up. In fact, I'm prepared to announce tonight on your show that we are extending the warranty on the Bubba Keg from 5 years to 10 years because we feel so confident.
Nice. 10 years.
10 years, yeah. We are very confident that the Bubba Keg is built to last, and we're prepared to stand behind the product and offer a 10-year warranty.
Nothing like getting a scoop right here on the only show that talks about barbecue and grilling right here on the Barbecue Central Show. This is Drew Keenan.
You heard it here first.
That's right, Drew Keenan here from the Bubba Keg. And I guess the reason I mentioned that is because I had seen some banter back and forth on some of the internet forums where obviously people that have the ceramics, very partial. You know better than anybody else. Guys and their cookers, gals and their cookers, very partial to what they have. And they were more or less paraphrasing that they just haven't been around as long, so it's hard to tell how well they're going to perform. So we can't argue that side, but from all accounts, this unit has been performing very well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm not afraid to tell you, I think that the product performs as well or better, and in most cases better, than a ceramic Kamado in every single category. And I think the only potential unknown is the longevity, so that's why people are immediately going after that when they make the comparison. But as I said, we're prepared to stand behind it for 10 years, and we've got a full year of testing under our belts now, and I feel pretty confident that Bubba Kegs are going to last a very long time. You know, with our price advantage and the superior insulation and superior performance, hopefully it's a pretty easy decision for most people.
So let's go ahead and tackle some of these items that I've seen on the internet, or specifically, I think a couple of weeks after I had you on initially to talk about the Bubba Keg unit. I had then had monthly guests who will actually be following you tonight, Derek Riches from About.com. Well-known grill reviewer and guy that gets his hands on a lot of cool stuff, and he was able to test out the Bubba Keg fairly extensively. Some of the items that he had mentioned, kind of a trigger point to him, first was the top vent kind of being exposed to the elements, and he also said that even in the closed position, that the top vent was actually leaking water into the cooker.
You know, I absolutely recommend that when you're not using your Bubba Keg, you keep it covered. I think you'll find that the design of the top damper is pretty innovative when you compare it with like a Big Green Egg. You know, we've got a graduated, numbered adjustment system, and it's got a lot of advantages, but certainly when it's open, water can get in there.
Any plans on having a cover coming with the unit?
Yeah, our first cover should be shipping within the next 30 days. So stay tuned. Keep an eye on BubbaKeg.com for more information, but we should have covers in inventory definitely before the end of the year.
So will those be sold merely as a side item, or will they actually come as part of the overall unit for some of the new units that make its way out through distribution?
Some of the new units next year will have a cover included. It just depends on where you buy it, but we'll also be selling them separately as an accessory item.
This is Drew Keenan from the Bubba Keg. BubbaKeg.com is the place you want to go to check out everything that has to do with this kind of a cooker. Issue number 2 that Derek kind of raised was the fact that you had cast iron on porcelain steel and that there was a potential propensity for that to rust.
Yeah, I think Derek was concerned about the cast iron scraping some of the porcelain off the bowl. Mm-hmm. As I said, we've been testing our production units now for over a year, and the prototypes for even longer than that, and we have not found that to be an issue. If that porcelain does chip off, there is a possibility for rust. But the good news is you can easily touch it up and prevent that rust from happening. And the steel that we use is so thick that it's going to take a very, very long time for anything to rust through. I mean, this is very heavy gauge steel. For people who have seen this product, you can tell that this is not built like your typical steel grill. It's very heavy gauge, and even if you do get a little bit of rusting, you just brush it off with a steel brush, or you can touch it up, and you should be fine.
Finally, in regards to, I don't actually have a problem with that second issue that Derek had mentioned. I agree that the steel is very heavy gauge. I mean, the unit itself, it's going to be really hard to lug around by yourself. I believe in the videos, you're told to basically have a buddy help you kind of set it up and move it around when you need to take it on the road, or if you're moving it from place to place, if you don't have it on the cart that comes with it, which is nice, by the way, is the secondary grate. Now, maybe this is more my opinion. Derek said that it's kind of made out of a lower grade stainless steel. Maybe he'd like to see it beefed up a little bit. And I've used it a number of times, and while I certainly appreciate the extra cooking grate, if you have to swing the grate out of the way to get to the meat, again, I appreciate the idea. I don't know if necessarily serviceability-wise it's maybe more of a hindrance than help to a certain degree on certain items.
Well, I think if you've used any of the alternatives, like the two-tier grates that Primo and Egg offer, you'll find that ours is a lot easier to use. The fact that we're on a pivot and you can just swing it out of the way is a lot more convenient than having to remove it entirely from your grill. You know, I appreciate your opinion on that. I think we've designed it to be as easy as possible and still maximize the capacity. It's a pretty good compromise in terms of usability and extra capacity.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a number of different applications it's great for. I guess that's why I'm always a proponent of having as many grills is possible because I can do one thing on the Bubba Keg, I can do something else on my Weber kettle, I can do something else on the gas grill. I mean, why not just stockpile the yard full of number of different cookers, and that way you can have access to doing a number of different cooking things as well. Are there any improvements or any next generation items that are going to be coming out on some of the later manufactured Bubba Kegs versus the ones that you had initially done?
We're focused on accessories right now. As I said, the grill cover is just about to ship. And, we've also got a diffuser kit in the pipeline, and that'll be shipping very soon. And I think a lot of people have seen that online. We sort of previewed it on BubbaKeg.com. So if you haven't, you can go to the BubbaKeg.com Bubba Board forums, and you can get a sneak peek look at that. It's really very innovative. Other than that, we're focused pretty much on accessories and producing more Bubba Kegs.
Drew Keenan, product manager of the Bubba Keg, is our guest here on the Barbecue Central show for the next few minutes. For the people that don't understand what a diffuser plate is, or maybe they aren't as familiar with a lot of the way the Kamado-style cookers actually operate, give us a little insight as to what that unit's all about.
Sure. It allows you to do indirect cooking. So if you want to do a long, slow cook and you want to keep your meat away from the direct heat of the fire, this basically puts a layer between the burning coals and your meat. The way ours works is it's actually comes with a drip pan, diffuser pan, so you could put some water. I like to put beer or wine in there, and add some aromatics, and really get some great smell and flavor infused into my meat.
So this almost might be more comparable to what the Weber Smoky Mountains have in terms of like a water pan almost to diffuse. Yeah,
it's similar, but it functions similar to like a big green egg plate setter as well. So it can do both.
And some people did ask me to ask you if they could kind of retro a plate setter into the Bubba Keg.
It'll fit, sure. I wouldn't buy one since our diffuser's coming out very soon. Right. But if you've got one lying around, it'll work.
One of the other items that we wanted to talk about that is very related to the cooker itself is this BCTS, or the Bubba Competitive Tailgate Series, which we had talked about last time you were on. So kind of refresh us on what that's all about, and then we'll kind of get into some of the current standings and all the prize packages and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the inaugural first annual Bubba Competitive Tailgating Series. We basically sought to find the best tailgaters in America. And so we opened it up. It was essay driven. You had to submit pictures and a story behind why you should be chosen. And we selected 15 teams, and we outfitted them with Bubba Keg convection grills, tent, a video camera, a number of Bubba Keg mugs and coolers, and then we set them loose on society to tailgate and have a good time and represent our brand to prove to America why they are the best tailgaters and why they deserve a trip to the BCS championship. So we're about halfway through the season, and the competition's really heating up. We have some really excellent competitors. I would encourage your listeners to go to BubbaKegTailgate.com. They can view all the competitors. They can vote on that site, and it's been a lot of fun. Every Monday morning for me is great because I get to pour through all the new photos and videos and recipes that everyone submitted. So it's been a great experience. I think we'll definitely do it again next year.
Is there a current leader right now that you can tell us about?
There are two teams that are trading the lead back and forth and have been since the beginning of the season. One is AZ Barbecue. They are in Arizona, and they support several teams in Arizona. They also have a competition barbecue team, and they have been trading the lead with our team at Florida State. So I'm not sure who is currently in the lead. They go back and forth every week, but those two teams have been fighting it out. But we've got a lot of teams that are up there, and there's still plenty of time left, so there's no telling who's going to win this thing.
That's the Bubba Competitive Tailgate Series. BubbaKegTailgate.com is the website, and if you're looking for more information about the cooker itself, BubbaKeg.com. Drew, any specials running aside from the 5-year warranty that you might want to tell us about for the Bubba Keg?
Sure. We're running a $50 mail-in rebate promotion right now in partnership with Home Depot. It was emailed to anyone who's registered or signed up on our website. So if you did not receive that email, all you need to do is go to BubbaKeg.com and sign up, take our survey, or register to receive our free video, and you will get an email back from me with a $50 mail-in rebate coupon that's good through the end of the year.
Sounds great. So if you've been teetering on the edge, $50 in back in your pocket should definitely get you over the other side of the fence and get hooked up with one of the coolest cookers out there right now. This is Drew Keenan. He's the product manager for the company that makes the Bubba Keg InZone. Drew, as always, appreciate the time tonight. Thanks for doing it.
Greg, thanks a lot. I enjoy it, and thanks to your listeners.
No problem. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good.
Take care. It's Drew Keenan, Bubba Keg. Again, Bubba Tailgate. BubbaKegTailgate.com is the BCTS website that you can check the standings. Bubba Competitive Tailgate Series. Sounds like they're going to be having a second year coming up. And BubbaKeg.com for your $50 rebate. Does it get any better than $50 back for a very cool dual-wall insulated steel cooker? I don't think so. BubbaKeg.com. That was Drew Keenan. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, it's Derek Riches talking about turkey fryers. It's Rempe and you right here on the Barbecue Central Show.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Forget going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Get in the smoke. It's the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Back and better than ever, it's the Barbecue Central Show. Thanks, Drew Keenan, for joining me last segment, talking about the Bubba Keg. I am your program host, Greg Rempe. This portion of the show brought to you by the good folks at the Barbecue Guru, makers of automatic pit temperature control devices and a host of other products that make your barbecue and grilling life easier. 2 ways to find them. You can find them on the internet, thebbqguru.com, or you can dial them up toll-free, 800-288-GURU. That's the great folks over at the Barbecue Guru. As promised, joining me now, as we all know, it's getting very close to that Thanksgiving thing. Everybody, now it's popular to do all these turkeys and deep frying and everything aside from putting in the oven like we used to do. And joining me to help hash out what's good, what's bad, and the ugly is Derek Riches from About.com. Derek, thanks for joining me again. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, Greg.
Great to have you back. Tonight's subject matter, talking about these turkey fryers. You see it on the news every year. People are blowing up their houses and catching their decks on fire because they're not doing it the right way. So if somebody is going to be looking at an oil fryer, do you have any safety tips for these people that are just dead set on doing it oil style?
The biggest problems people make is, you get the oil, you get it hot, you put the turkey in there. If there's too much oil or if the turkey's too big, if that boils over, because when the turkey hits it, that oil's going to boil. If it goes over and you've got a propane burner under there, you've just made yourself a vertical flamethrower. You've also got to make sure that the turkey is going to fit into that pot right.
Probably should be a good idea to actually do a thing where you fill up the pot with water and submerge the turkey down there just to make sure that your oil level is going to be okay instead of just eyeballing it.
Yeah, exactly. Put your turkey in the pot cold, wrapped, fill it up with water so it's about 3 to 4 inches above the turkey. Take the turkey back out and measure all that water. That's how much oil you need. And make sure you put it on concrete or dirt. And when you put the turkey down into the oil, when it's hot, put it down very, very slowly. Make sure you can control how you get that into the pot.
That's right. It's safety first here on the Barbecue Central Show, brought to you by Derek Riches from bbq.about.com. You can find him over there. So some of these items that we want to talk about tonight, Derek, the first one, which really became popular maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, is this Charbroil Big Easy. Not an oil cooker at all.
No, it's not. It's actually an infrared unit. It looks like a large pot. Basically, what you've got is a metal pot, and there's a burner that runs around the side of it that creates an infrared space inside. So it reaches about a temperature about 350 degrees. They label it as the oilless turkey fryer, and it's a safe alternative because, you're not using oil. It still cooks a turkey at about 5 minutes a pound or so. Well, actually, no, about 10 minutes a pound, sorry. And it does a good job of it. You've got to make sure that you're not using too large of a turkey, or if it gets too close to that edge, it's going to burn around there. You're going to have to keep an eye on it, but it's kind of a foolproof device, and you can do a lot with it.
What are we looking at price tag-wise?
You're looking at about $150 for it, and it just hooks to a standard propane tank.
All right, something else that I have seen on the internet is this product called the Orion cooker.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting idea. What you basically have is a two-part cylinder. It stands on end. The top comes off. You put your food inside. You put the lid back on, and now it becomes a completely sealed chamber. Around the bottom of it is a large tub that you fill with about 15 pounds of charcoal, and then there's a cup up on top that you put more charcoal in. This then creates convection. The temperature is very controlled because of the way it's designed. It's going to get about 350, 375 degrees in there. The trick with this one is never to open it. It comes with a very detailed time chart on all the different foods you might want to cook. But once you put that in and light it up, you want to keep it closed so that you hold all the steam and all of the heat inside. And there's really not even a way to run a temperature probe into it or anything like that. You're just going to have to kind of trust in the time. But it is kind of foolproof because you have a lot of steam in there. It's not going to dry out food, and it makes it difficult to burn food as long as you don't exceed the time by too much.
The Charbroil Big Easy was 150 bones. What is the price point on the Orion cooker? And if you've actually cooked on it, how did you feel the product was compared to the Big Easy?
It runs about $120, $130, depending upon where you get it. It's a very different kind of way of cooking. I guess in a way it does produce kind of more of a roasted flavor to it, but you can get some good, decent smoke flavor to it. It is very foolproof. There is a lot of fire that's going to go around this because you are burning a lot of charcoal, so you do need to put it on a safe surface away from structures. But it's a fun one to play with.
We're talking with Derek Riches. You can find him at bbq.about.com. He is their barbecue and grilling reviewer. Now, transitioning over into these oil cookers, there's one called the Masterbuilt's Butterball Turkey Fryer. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this is new this year. Just barely came out. The idea here was to take your large indoor electric fryer unit and enlarge it so that it's large enough to hold a 14-pound turkey. The oil pot that goes inside is actually kind of turkey-shaped. It's a diagonal, it's kind of a diamond shape, and it slopes up on one side where the legs are going to go. So you don't put as very much oil in this unit. And it's going to conform to the turkey that you're going to cook. It has, everything you're going to have on an indoor electric fryer, digital timer, temperature control, all of those issues. The lid covers it completely. And so it's actually UL rated for indoor use, making it kind of, the first real oil-based turkey fryer that gets those sort of safety rules applied to it. It works pretty well. One of the problems with it is you're not using a lot of oil. So you get the oil heated up, you put the turkey in, that oil temperature drops a lot, and it's going to take a while for it to rebound.
Right.
So there's going to be a period of time in which you're not cooking, you're kind of soaking.
All right, so price point on this unit, and have you actually been able to mess around with it and cook stuff in it?
I've been able to play with it, but I haven't actually a chance to cook with it. I got to see a demo unit of it and kind of go over it, but I, as of yet, haven't gotten one in to actually try out. It sells for about $100.
Do you think safety is going to be a concern with this at all?
Problem is we're going to find out about the day after Thanksgiving about how safe this really was. But, it does work very much like a regular fryer, and if you're comfortable using a large fryer in your kitchen, then, this isn't much different than that.
All right, and the last product that we'll be covering is the North American Outdoors Test Right Safety Cooker. Huge, long name, and probably gearing up more to the traditional side of a big pot oil-type cooker. What's happening with that unit?
Well, basically what they did is they took the old style idea. You had a propane burner on a tripod, you put a pot on top of it, and you cooked your turkey in it. So what they've designed is a cage that goes onto the burner, which will keep the pot in place. The legs extend out so it won't topple over. And then the pot is designed to be much larger on the top. It's like a normal stock pot, and then it enlarges out. This way, when you put the turkey in it, when the oil kind of boils up, it's got a lot more space to move into. This version now, the latest version of it, actually has a thermostatic control on it so that the oil can't get too hot.
So it sounds like they've tried to take away some of the more common mistakes that the regular outdoor backyard guy would make with this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they were looking at, what are all the most common things that are going to go wrong with this process, and they tried to eliminate it. They may have kind of over-engineered this. I haven't seen this problem, but I've heard back from some people who found that the thermostat kept kicking off when the temperature wasn't really even high enough yet, and weren't able to get really above 350 degrees heating the oil. But it's kind of a hit-and-miss problem.
What's the price point on this particular unit?
You're looking at about $100 for the full unit.
All right, so last question before I let you go. We've talked about all these units. Can you rate them from what you think is best to which one you would buy only under the dire circumstances of need?
If you're going to go with fried turkey, honestly, you've got to put it in oil. The North American unit is a large stock pot. It's a lot of oil. It heats very quickly. I mean, you're cooking at 3 minutes a pound, so, a 15-pound turkey is done in 45 minutes. So it has all of the advantages to that. I kind of think that the Masterbuilt unit doesn't contain enough oil, and you're not going to be able to cook very quickly. So I'm not too big on that one. The Orion cooker is just a lot of fun. I mean, you can put 6 racks of ribs in there. You can do pork butts. You can do brisket. You can do, a lot of different food with it. And, pretty much everyone who has it loves it. If you want to go that route, go away from the oil, I would suggest the Orion cooker.
It sounds like that one has multitude of different options aside from the turkey stuff, and as you said, it's fun. It's got that ambiance to it, so that might be tops on the list. We're talking with Derek Riches. Again, you can find him at bbq.about.com. You can also follow him on Twitter, about_BBQ. Derek, always appreciate you coming on every month and talking about all the good stuff that's happening out there, and we'll catch up with you again next month.
Yeah, it was great to talk to you again, Greg.
All right, Derek, take care. That was Derek Riches. bbq.about.com is the website. Check him out. We'll take a quick break. We'll wrap it up with one more segment. It's Rempy and you right here on the Barbecue Central Show.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Forget going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Get in the smoke. It's the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, we're wrapping it up here with one more segment. This is the Barbecue Central Show. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Thank you for joining me. Thanks again to my guests. We had Drew Keenan from the Bubba Keg on, second segment, talking about all things that are good with the world of the Bubba Keg, addressing some of the issues that have been mentioned here during the short testing time that this unit has been out. Thanks to my last segment guest, Derek Riches, monthly contributor to the show, talking about those turkey fryers. People always now getting into this turkey frying, trying to do it different ways than the traditional in-the-oven style. A lot of people cooking multiple turkeys, one in the oven, one in the smoker, one in the fryer. It's like at least 2 turkeys now. If you're not cooking 2 turkeys, you're a loser. So thanks to them, Drew Keenan, BubbaKeg.com, Derek Riches from About.com. BBQ.About.com is his personal website. You can read his reviews and polls and all that great stuff. Good website to check out. Wanted to touch on an email real quick that I had gotten over the past week. This was dealing more or less with that blog post that I had read at the end of the show last week. This is from Dennis in Florida. Everything that I've read states that meat absorbs the most smoke early on in the cook, about the first 2 hours, and cooks and continues absorbing smoke up to about 140 degrees internal. Although I've not seen it myself, I believe that there is actually some scientific proof supporting this. I'd like to see this person who believes this do an experiment where they put a butt on a stick burner straight out of the fridge, smoke it until it reaches 100 degrees in the center of the meat, and then remove it and slice it down the middle without having even a visible hint of a smoke ring. They should photograph and document the entire process and post the results on a web-based community so the people in the barbecue world can see it at large. Until we see some proof, this claim is nothing but hogwash. Dennis in Florida. First, Dennis, thanks for writing in and getting in contact with the show. Appreciate your participation. Yeah, that was my biggest initial objection was, what if you only have a stick burner? You can't not provide smoke. You're combusting wood. There's going to be smoke. It happens. I can't necessarily buy into Mr. Barbecue's theory. I wanted to get outside the box here for the last minute or so. Maybe you listen to talk radio news and you heard this lady in Wisconsin make this phone call.
Clark County 911.
Somebody's really drunk driving down Granton Road.
Which way are they going?
They are going
towards Granton or towards Nielsville?
Towards Granton.
Okay, you behind them or?
No, I am them.
You am them?
Yes, I am them.
Okay, so you want to call and report that you're driving drunk?
Yeah.
Well, kudos to that lady. First and foremost, she realized that she was intoxicated. So instead of just pulling over and calling somebody that she knew and just leaving the car on the side of the road or in the parking lot, no. Let's do the Good Samaritan thing and call the cops on yourself. The end of that call was the dispatcher saying, well, just pull off the side of the road, tell me where you are, and we're going to send a car out. Well, they gave her a field sobriety test, and she failed. The thing that I found more concerning in this call, and I'll point it out to you here as we play it again. Hold on here 1 second. Here we go.
Okay, are you behind them or?
No, I am them.
You am them?
Yes.
Did the dispatcher just say, you am them? Maybe the guy that's in charge of running the dispatch department might want to field check his operator. Sounds a little drunk. You am them? I'm sick and tired of people ruining the English language. You didn't learn how to speak some other language first, and then you learned English. This is the one you grew up with. There's no way in your head that when you said, you am them, that sounded right. And if it did sound right, A, we should be checking you because you probably are drunk. Or B, you need to go back to school. It is not correct, and it should not sound right in your head when you say it. Even when you're thinking it, it should never sound right. It's like starting a sentence with the two words, them are. If you're going to start a sentence with the two words, them are, it's entirely wrong and it's incorrect. And if it sounds right in your head, go back to school and relearn the English language and go from there. All right, that's going to put a wrap on this show. Thanks again to Drew Keenan from Bubba Keg. Thanks to Derek Riches from About.com. And thanks to you, the Central Lights, for joining me for another show here on the Barbecue Central Show. Another jam-packed show ready for you next week. Thanks for listening, and until we see you back in the smoke, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.